someone needs to take over the mine. He speaks of an attack on the presidential palace, which is only a few miles away. And he tells JD to
I aim to devastate.
Buddy is about to do. Takes Leon outside for
What
freezing.
is this?
By the elders,
magic
who have
show.
authority over the
But
rebels.
beware,
Leon has
repeated
realized that the
visits
rebels
can
are injecting
become
the parasites into their
addictive.
body so they can control the nations.
Je sens que je vais
Leon
bien
stops Buddy
m'amuser.
doing what he's planning to do. So he hands Leon back his weapon, and Leon goes off to stop Buddy, who by this point has already gotten his hand on him.
Everyone feeling warmed up?
President Belikova is reporting Ada Wong, who bizarrely claims that she's from the BSAA and she's there to inform the people in Belikova's government about the parasite. A little later, she meets Leon whilst he was out trying to stop Buddy, and she says that the plagas the rebels are using are defective, and says that she's just there to lend a hand, saying that if the rebels attack the presidential palace, it will make her job a lot easier. And in classic Ada fashion, she's off.
We're gonna send them packing.
Leon hears the church bells ringing, and the president is on the throne telling one of the generals. But Leon gets to the church and finds somebody's clambering.
Soit.
Believes there's no difference from what the military are doing now and using the Neo-Germans. Later on, three of the trucks were there to deal with the Spanish
Heal me.
palace.
Hey, you're in the game already. I've been sitting here for fucking 8 minutes.
Leon is able to make his way down to the other city.
On the objective and ready for action.
And Leon gets a bit worried as to what he's done. The president and his security forces show up. Ada causes a blackout.
Americans.
Leon is able to take the president's gun. The elevator begins to sound, and out of it come a bunch of lifters being controlled by a buddy and a plaga parasite inside him. He sets a litter on Leon and completes it, going after Buddy. He runs alongside a pack of lifters and she's behind him pulling from glass. He calls her a pretender to the throat. She says that all the elders have gone over to her.
Meet your demise.
Miss me? Enemy over here.
Working for Belikova to be defective.
No one can hide from my sight.
Itself, the shell company owned Space plagas they bioengineered were actually the ones
Someone
Rytel
entertain me.
and were the type
Target
of
identified.
ones they engineered.
Minor perk unlocked.
Un certain je ne sais quoi. A decisive victory.
What
payload has reached the
the
checkpoint.
incineration facility as well to lead to lead. Ada helps Leon out with the elevator and Buddy who is now senses. The Tyrant tries to get onto the lift.
You should watch. Merci.
Guess everyone has a scary side.
Spiders are solitary creatures.
Declaring the elder council as a
Someone needs an end.
therefore her country should be acceptable into the country. The chief of staff talks with her and tells her that all the elders are dead. She proposes telling the world that the rebels executed the elders as traitors. Over there! In regard to Ada Wong impersonating a BSAA agent, the chief of staff declares an international warrant.
11 minutes. 11 fucking minutes.
You thought me weak at first. one can hide from my sight. Such naivety.
Where's my team?
I see one.
He shoots, but the person is
Enemy
that a temporary government set up the Islam Republic that spent last time over.
So careless.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Your carry is here! Payload mobilized! Let's get this!
Ada is revealed to have portrayed one of the
Victory.
Parasite, explains what she was doing due to the behind. She's talking with a mystery man that seems to enjoy the fact that she has an international warranty on terrorists.
Play of the game.
It's now December 2012. A mercenary named Jake Muller is in Eastern European anti-government factions within the military, but is now being fought between the country's military and the Adonian Liberation Army. Jake is one of many mercenaries who have guns for hire for the rebels. He takes a shot of something which seems to have no effect on him, but the Adonian rebels he's with take
Winner.
Pure class.
Juabo, and one of them attacks Jake. Dealing with it, he's approached by a DSO agent from the US government, or more specifically, one of their agents called Sherry Birkin. Yep, the same Sherry Birkin from the Raccoon City incident over a decade earlier. Upon their escape, they seem to have been watched by Ada Wong, and they have to escape a battlefield in which the BSAA are engaging any Juabo they see. When safe, Sherry informs Jake that his blood contains rare antibodies that could be used in an antidote for a virus called the C virus. Of course, with Jake being a mercenary, he requests $50 million in exchange for his blood, to which DSO agrees, much to Jake's surprise. After escaping, they are hunted by a massive creature called Ustanak, and they once again manage to escape out of PTO. They run into a BSAA squad led by Chris Redfield, whose team had been dispatched to Adonia to investigate the presence of Juabo in the region. He has identified Jake as a wanted insurgent. Chris takes a long look at him. After taking out some anti-aircraft guns and fighting a massive BOW, Chris once again thinks he knows Jake. Thinks they've met before. BSAA and Jake and Sherry part ways and take off in the helicopter which will take them to the DSO. During Jake and Sherry's journey, the BSAA team led by Chris arrive at City Hall. They encounter what appear to be cocooned BOWs and fight various other BOWs throughout the building. They see a woman in a blue dress, Ada Wong. She informs them that the Juabo came from the C virus and have been supplied to the rebels fighting in the Civil War by a company named Neo Umbrella, who she claimed are an organization that are supporting the rebels in the Civil War. The C virus, or chrysalid virus, is something Chris and Piers have encountered before when on mission in Asia during an outbreak at a school in Kukulkan. Chris offers to escort Ada through the building, but she traps them by separating Chris and Piers from the other 4 squad members. She unleashes a needle bomb into the air, the C virus, and Chris and Piers can only watch on as their fellow men mutate into chrysalids and then into creatures called Napads, the large BOW that they just fought. One of their squad mates, Finn, who is now mutated into a Napad, attacks Chris, beating him to the point where he starts to lose consciousness. Nonetheless, Piers manages to drag him to safety. Meanwhile, Jake and Sherry are on their way to meet the DSO. They are attacked by the Ustanak, and hostile...
I aim to devastate.
Ustanak, the helicopter crash lands.
Do not
Jake and
get in
Sherry
my way.
manage to use a parachute to land safely. Sherry is injured. Jake pulls an object from her body.
I sworn your laser brain complains about fur in their starship hood. I'll punt them into the sonosphere.
Sherry has a G-virus
5,
variant inside her
4,
body. Jake
3,
and Sherry have lost 3
2,
drives containing
1.
Jake's biometric
Round
data.
1.
And without that, they
Capture
have
the
no
objective.
can't make it back. So after retrieving the 3 drives,
show
they
them
get
who's
a
boss.
snowstorm inside the shack. Their shelter doesn't last for long because they were attacked by Juabo. Jake and Sherry use the nearby snowfield.
Pay attention.
to escape to the outer.
How ungrateful.
Double
Get Jake and Sherry escape alive.
Who's counting? I am.
Taking the his father, which is new to Jake. He says this makes him the heir to a very special blood type. What on earth is being born? Anyway, 6 months has now passed since Jake and Sherry's capture. Our focus focus shifts to Leon Kennedy. On 29th June 2013, President Benford had scheduled a speech on the fight against terrorism at the Ivy University in City. Didn't exactly go to plan.
Stay alive.
Helena says that they can get to the Tall Oaks Cathedral. They both make their way through the campus, and the outbreak is out of control. Thousands are infected. Leon and Helena come across a group of survivors holding on to the gun shop, whilst they wait for a fellow survivor to arrive at the city embassy. After a tense fight with the infected,
Triple kill.
I'll accept compliments for that.
Out with the old. No one can hide from my sight.
The bus ride is going well. That is until an infected walks out in the middle of the road, causing the bus to swerve and balance precariously on a cliff edge.
Suppress this target.
The bus is rammed off the cliff by speeding and out. Miraculously, Leon and Helena are the sole survivors of this incident. In a massive strip of luck, they're at the cemetery. They get through it, and after arriving in front of
First round, 1. Score 1-0.
Shifu keeps saying I should visit Mount Erme, but this is close enough, right?
The lab contains chrysalids and
Here's my napkin.
3 days ago, and that these subjects were there.
I'm holding it.
Leon discovers a tape labeled Happy Birthday 81, and given his knowledge of it, he is curious and takes the tape. It shows something called Project
4,
Ada, and a
3,
cocoon hatching.
20
I will
minutes.
not die.
Round.
Wow, bro. 20 minutes?
Objective.
Escapes the infected Leon and Helena from the lab, escaping through a chute, and further underground into a series of tunnels in a large open area, and finds what she was looking for. Deborah
Unlocked.
descending, Deborah begins to cry out.
What's your poison?
Then hatches into a naked woman. Bolt flies out of nowhere and strikes.
A decisive victory.
Can't
The
carry
objective
on.
is now active.
Deborah then mutates further and attacks the group. Deborah is about to kill Helena, who was saved by Leon and Ada, and Deborah ends up falling to her death. Helena reveals that 3 days earlier, she and Deborah were captured by Leonard Simmons, the national security advisor. Helena reveals that she helped Simmons breach
Hello. Smoky melted
the
poison.
outbreak. The deputy president was also told. Simmons had used her system as leverage. Ada receives a call and she makes a switch.
Marking the enemy.
Leon calls Hunnigan. He takes over the call.
Gotta go.
This time is also the sharp one.
Show them what you've got.
Defeating it, Leon and Helena escape the capital.
Speed I see.
You receive a call from Hunnigan, who informs them that Simmons has left and is heading for Lanshan in China. Alright, so what happened to Jake and Sherry? Well, after they were taken by the family 6 months earlier, they were taken to a secret facility.
You
in
didn't
China.
like my
Jake
present?
was experiment.
The spider is
Escorted by 2
hungry.
of the Juabo mutants,
God,
Jake attacks them and escapes his confinement, eventually meeting Sherry. Jake says they were trying to use his antibodies to enhance the C-virus.
So careless.
When Chris was attacked after killing Macedonia, he was beaten so badly that he suffered amnesia. He basically left the SS.
No one can hide from my sight.
9 minutes, and Chris doesn't remember. After a minor confrontation with the locals,
I will not die here.
Hostile
Hostile here.
20 minutes. Man, what a
Victory.
game.
June 30th, 2015, he joined them in their mission
Player of the game.
for another Neo and Dragon. Chris and Piers also come face to face with Drago, and they have to fight through the streets in order to reach a building known to them as the Ace of Spades, where some members of the UN are being held hostage. They free the UN members, but due to a BSAA airstrike, the team has to scramble to get out of the building. Chris sees a load of chrysalids, and this triggers more memories to come back. He remembers that Ada killed his men and was about to get with them. At this point, Jake and Sherry, still heading towards Wyatt, are being pursued by an attack helicopter. They jump a wall and crash their bike, and the BSAA see Jake and Sherry and help them in taking down the attack helicopter. Chris once again stares intently at Jake as he recognizes him. Jake and Sherry leave Lieutenant Simmons. Shortly after this, the BSAA Alpha team are attacked by a huge snake BMW, which one by one takes out their entire Yes. Shoots Marco with the dart with the C virus, and Marco turns into a mutation for an instant, which is a swarm of insects controlled by a queen. So destroying the queen and taking Marco's C4, they then go after Ada. With the BSAA, they has been spotted at the harbour. Fighting their way through it, Chris and Piers are ambushed by another attack chopper. After getting rid of it, they arrive at some research center.
20
Helen
minutes.
and on a plane to China with so
20 fucking minutes.
they infected all the passengers. Leon and Helena kill the creature, and Leon tries to control the plane, but it crash lands into a wave. Jake and Sherry saw the plane go down, as did Ada, and Jake and Sherry rush to investigate. They meet up with Leon and Helena, and Sherry learns the hard truth, in that Simmons is responsible for the outbreak. Sherry doesn't want to believe it, but whilst they are talking, Ustanak turns up. After a fight, Ustanak legs it, and an explosion separates the two groups. Sherry tells Leon and Helena where she'll be meeting Simmons. Hennigan reaches out to Leon and tells him that the building Sherry was talking about is not halfway. Leon and Helena have to pass through the market, and they see Ada, and they follow her into the facility. But of course, Ada is being hunted by Chris and Piers, who open fire on her. With both parties evading traps set by Ada, Chris and Piers confront her. Chris is about to shoot her, but he's stopped by Leon. Leon and Chris fight, but then realise who each other are. Chris says Ada is working for Neo Umbrella, and despite hearing this, Leon says that he'll protect her. Whilst they're talking, Ada throws a flash grenade and escapes. Leon tells Chris they want the same thing, to stop the attack, and Chris says the BSAA will go after Ada, and Leon and Helena will go after Simmons. Leaving the warehouse, Leon and Helena come across Simmons and his men. Sherry and Jake turn up, and Sherry asks Simmons if he is responsible, to which he admits his involvement. In his words, for the benefit of the United States and global security, he calls for his men to dispose of them. Sherry hands Leon the drive with the information regarding the C virus now to stop it, and the two groups separate. Leon and Helena continue to go after Simmons, but Jake and Sherry are captured by a group of Bravo and imprisoned at an underwater oil field. But whilst his men are distracted, Simmons is injected with the C virus by Bravo and starts to mutate, saying, "She got me." Let's take a short break from the plot and discuss a name that's cropped up a few times now, and that is the family. The family is a secret fraternity or shadow organization founded sometime between 1685 and 1815. This was a real-life period of time known as the Enlightenment period, an intellectual and philosophical
Oh
movement
my
which
god,
focused largely on the
finally. Found game found after like 20 fucking minutes. Holy
Now
shit.
arriving at the Shambhali
Yes,
Monastery.
that's right, Derek Simmons. The base, or rather their headquarters, was based in Tall Oaks. Access through, you guessed it, a secret entrance in the Tall Oaks. The family had their own goal, bioweapons development. It goes deeper. Simmons, being a US government official, was actually the one that ordered the strike on Raccoon City in 1998. The family then, after the Raccoon City incident, redirected their goals fully towards
I
bioweapons
aim to
development.
devastate.
Simmons, then the US
Isaiah.
government became national security.
Bonjour.
And
Just one more
the two
mission.
Raptors became friends. That wasn't until Benford became an enemy of the family, Simmons. The reason? Well,
If anybody asks,
considered
I was
releasing
never
the
here.
details and the classified information
Who
about the Raptors. Everything we know.
Need someone to tuck you in?
In your dreams.
I'm an army of one.
Hello.
5, 4, 3,
Move the payload.
1. Attack commencing. Escort the payload.
It's time to spin my web. How delightful.
Double kill.
The payload is moving.
The family thought the damage to the US, and also the risk of exposing the combat data from the US Army operation in Rifle City to potential enemies would be too much. The family considered that an act of treason. Simmons concocted a plan to start President Adam Benford and covered it up as a bioterror attack. You'll recall he'd used analysts together.
Knock knock, trick or treat.
Chris and Peter
The enemy is here.
Breathe.
A one-day trick.
My tyranny continues.
The aircraft carrier preparing for launch is equipped with missiles loaded with C-virus. She'll be launched short. One of Simmons' men turns up in the chopper and shoots Ada. She falls to the ground. She drops a suitcase that contains a sample of the virus. Chris tries to warn the VSAA that the terror attack was
The
not
payload has
The
reached
real
the
attack.
checkpoint.
Eyes on a target.
The other Helena captures Simmons, and after he heavily rejects him, they fall into the river.
We're moving out. Expect resistance.
Are escorting civilians away somewhere else. Helena asks Leon if it's over. They then hear that Sherry and Jake were abducted.
No one can hide from my sight.
After fighting their way through the carrier, Chris and Piers took control of the fighter jet in an attempt to stop a missile launch. After fighting a huge POW, failed. Chris contacts Leon and tries to warn him, but it's too late. The missiles detonate over the city. unleashing
You
the
dare
virus on
touch
the
my
population.
Minor perk unlocked.
Un certain je ne sais quoi. Much better.
Enemy outnumbers us.
Leon tells Chris that Sherry
Time
and
to
Jake
teach these
can take him
bugs
to
some
the underwater
manners.
oil field and asks him to help them. Leon breaks some shock of news to Chris. That
The
Jake
payload
realizes
is moving.
Albert Wesker's son and that he has antibodies for the C-virus. Chris breaks the news to Leon that he is dead. Leon silently agrees and he is having a fight out. The C-virus fighting to board the gas tanker and waited to find chaos.
Group up with me.
They're confronted by an attack chopper. To their surprise, pilots supply Ada, who helps them out. After running some more explosions, they're rescued by the BSAA and come to their aid with the chopper. One of the BSAA are infected, and Leon has to take control of the chopper, track
The
landing in the
payload
lobby of
has
the tower
reached
building.
the checkpoint.
In the next room, they come to a place with Simmons,
Where could my dance partner be? Retours en cercle.
dinosaur, and Leon and Helena defeat him once
You're a
again.
joke.
Ada into the chopper.
No one can hide from my sight.
Yeah, Simmons is back
No.
again. Destroys their elevator and they have to climb up the elevator. Ada is in the middle of fighting Simmons, and Leon ends up helping.
Tactical visor out.
Sérieusement?
Nano boost at
Leon and
minute.
Helena
My power is surging.
and surprise, surprise, they're Simmons, who this time using Helena.
Tango spot. Must show some
Double kill.
pick the wrong enemy.
The
payload is moving.
And that evidence includes Simmons' guilt. And they use the chopper.
Merci.
introduce ourselves to someone named as Carla McDowell. Carla was a genius-level researcher who worked with Simmons. At some point, Simmons had dealings with Ada Wong back in 1998. Due to workforce, the dealings didn't pair. Simmons became infatuated with Ada and she rejected him. Simmons set up a secret project
I'm proud of you.
Ada, who worked on kidnapping thousands of women.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Carla began to work on
My little insect.
that well at first. More than 12,000 experiments over 10 years.
Victory!
There wasn't big use for Carla either. Simmons, somewhere along the line, realized that Carla's genetics were very similar to Ada's, and knowing full well that Carla was infatuated with him, Simmons convinced Carla to be the next test subject. She would be the final one. Worked. Carla became a chrysalid, and then she hatched. Leon saw on the video. Copy Ada. Well, she would become a near perfect. Simmons then began his work in programming Carla to be exactly like the real Ada Wong. He used and managed to retain Carla's love for him, and this ensured that she would never leave him like Ada did. Simmons gave her lots of power, base an army of soldiers, but something was brewing under the surface. Carla, due to having part of her being left inside her, began to have an internal conflict. She was furious at what Simmons had done to her, so she became determined to destroy everything they had built. Carla then built the organization Neo Umbrella and set it up in China. During this time, she would create and perfect the C virus. She did this by obtaining a T. veronica sample, and using the mutation characteristic from the progenitor virus, he developed a new variant of T. veronica named T02. This is where Sherry came in. You recall that Sherry was taken by the US government. Well, while there, she was experimented on by Simmons and Carla. Using Sherry's G virus sample, Carla combined it with T02, and the C virus was developed. A virus that Carla at least considered to be the perfect virus. Now, a quick side note, this all happened in 2009. Remember what also happened in 2009? Killed Albert Wesker. With Wesker gone, Sherry was no longer under threat, so she was offered a
I
job
aim
as
to
a
devastate.
42 seconds.
Double
The
kill.
numbers. Here is the time. Carla was doing well with testing ground.
Double triple
My web goes
quadruple
heavy.
kill. Quintuple kill. Sextuple kill.
Antibodies thanks to his father, Wesker. This leads into Simmons sending agents working to get
Major
James
pack
one. Make
unlocked.
sure a vaccine for the C virus was never.
What's your poison?
Two, potentially use
Je vais
it
faire un
to enhance
carton.
the C virus.
Parfait.
Double
To ensure that Jake really has
Triple kill.
No one can hide from my sight.
which turned into giraffe. Jake not being affected by the shot. When Jake and Sherry were being held captive by the
Double
family,
kill.
Carla turned the C
Triple
virus
kill.
into an enhanced version by using Jake.
Quadruple kill.
Annoying.
Quintuple kill. Sextuple kill.
Funerals.
C virus test. He underwent this willingly as he was born with a weak body and was frail. He was happy with the results, kept renewed strength. A couple of days in, he lost his right arm in a lab accident, but his arm didn't regenerate properly. Now here's a slightly messed up detail. You stand that
It's easy to
Carla was
learn
a
the
mother
best
of
levels,
sorts,
man.
Savior too, given that she had given him power and strength. He would be programmed to capture Jake, as Carla planned to go against Simmons and capture him for herself, which explains why Ustanak was there in Adonia in 2012. Carla's plan had a hitch, and it was all of her own making. For some reason, Carla decided to contact the real Ada Wong, but masked the call to appear as if it was coming from Simmons instead. She told Ada there's some information aboard a ship, which may be of interest. Ada arrived at the ship, and to her surprise, she was able to access everything there. She discovers information about herself and that her prints are on file, along with a video detailing what appears to be her being sent on a mission to capture Jake Muller. This confuses her. Quite why Carla chose to involve the real Ada isn't known. Maybe she
The
just
deep
hated
feel
Ada.
like
Maybe she wanted Ada to see what Simmons was really like. Anyway, Carla goaded Ada and told her all about Tall Oaks, and told her that she formed Neo Umbrella, that the face of this
that one friend
organization,
that's
the
tuna.
world-based, was Ada Wong, and that Ada would end up taking the blame for the terror attacks. So Ada went to Tall Oaks, and Ada
nostalgia.
assisted the cathedral on the videotape titled Happy Birthday, Ada Wong. And of course, there was a video of Simmons watching Carla's
GoldenEye. My favorite game. Devil May Cry.
So what? He found documents on the aircraft details about why Carla became Ada 2.0, which Simmons was
Virtual DMC enemy Bruno.
Now traveling to the south.
filled with liquid nitrogen and shattered. Ada escaped the carrier, which was sinking.
Devil May Cry.
Reached the elevator. And Ada helped Leon and Helen find Simmons. Of course, Simmons didn't actually know that Carla was dead. He thought this real Ada, Carla. Go back to the story. Hours later, Chris and Piers arrive at the entrance to the underwater oil field. Chris mentions that this war can't follow him forever.
I aim to devastate,
Devil May Cry.
draw them into my
They
web.
see a camera feed with Jake and Sherry detailing where they're being held, and Chris and Piers release
We're
them.
playing the
Control.
beats like it's
Right this
1999.
time, Jake and Sherry get
Hmm.
escape
I
and
think I
conversation.
can make this worth my time.
Chris and Jake have a tense confrontation after Chris tells Jake that he sees his father and explains that he is the one who killed
I'm
Alpha
proud
Wesker.
of you. 5,
Jake
4,
lets it go, but they end up
3,
finding the captains
2,
of Carla's master.
1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Well, it does.
أنا بحرص
Now here
كيف.
comes a BOW known as Chaos. Chris and Piers
We're gonna grind that
Jake and Sherry start making
Scorpion, ready to burn.
Both playing property.
They're taking our point! Let's go, that's not helping!
How delightful. There will be no next time. One after another.
Team
his
kill.
arm is back.
I'm securing the
It's
objective.
worse for him as the
And
BOW
you're
are
all
dead.
set.
Chris is grabbing time and Piers frees himself
System
by ripping what's
compromised.
left of his arm off and uses the earlier obtained C-virus sample to inject himself. This mutates him and he uses this new strength and power to save Chris. They fight and defeat Chaos.
Sérieusement?
Fast.
No one can hide from my sight. I won't miss you. They all come calling
In the aftermath of all of this, Helena is visiting her sister Deborah
Tengo que
Gray,
irme.
and Leon Hunnigan, thinking that she role in the terror attack.
The
is
plot
going to be
thickens.
enforced by Simmons. As for Chris, after the death of Piers, he's
Objective's mine. Care to join me?
He went back on his desire to quit the BSAA in honor of Piers. Connie comes over to Chris and doesn't have a huge
On the objective. What are you doing?
Doing for China. Initially having asked for $50 million for his blood, he dropped the asking price to $50 and devoted his life to helping others.
here,
And at some
Toki.
point, he appears to be aiding the village or town by fighting some BOWs. Following year in 2014, Chris had been
You can
forced
hide,
to
but you
Hostile on the point! Are they for real?
You didn't like my present? EMP activated.
Now they're just
Nano. Accelerating. Enemy turret destroyed.
Chris jumps outside by to himself and finds Glenn Arias.
Show them what you've got.
Arias then reveals he has a massive BOW there. Alongside him is
Hey! That's my objective!
Use zombies to attack the same time PSA.
You are straight. Enemy turret destroyed. No one can hide from my sight.
A virus, which is short for the animality virus. We found that it stays dormant unless activated by a specific trigger. The 3 layers or components of the virus.
Engage this enemy.
Triggering virus.
A deadly
I'm
fight.
ready to initiate self-destruct sequence! They're taking our point! Let's go, that's not
Rebecca gets hit with this too.
Enemy
and
turret
stumbles
destroyed.
to eject herself.
Eyes on a target.
And she's okay. Being attacked by her colleagues, she is eventually saved by Chris and his BSAA squad. And later on, she tells them that this virus shows similarities to Las Plagas.
Une mort magnifique.
Works. She suggests they send it to other labs ASAP so they can get it
I guess they weren't
This
finished.
tells Rebecca a bit about Glen Arias. They took over Neo Umbrella
Don't be
and tried
shy.
operation. Selling the weapons they created to the crime scene.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Heading you out.
First round.
Allowed to destroy
One.
Rebecca's research. Chris says that since the A virus has similarities to Las Plagas,
My
they should do
turret's
it
getting
as
hit!
Score
so they fire
1-0.
meeting up with Leon and getting See, not long before this, he was leading a team of DSO agents in Maryland, and they were there to capture and question the senator who had been giving sensitive and classified information to the family. Essentially, the whole
Retirement looks
Si l'amour
good
est un
on
jeu,
you, Anna.
alors
Too
j'aime
old for flattery.
même si cela te
We're
fait
still
mal.
alive and kicking.
Still young at heart, I see.
And Leon tells him that he's not interested in any job they've got, as he's currently on vacation. Becca tells them they need intel, but meanwhile they're being observed by Aaron. He tells the mysterious woman,
5,
Maria,
4,
that Rebecca is to
3,
stay alive,
2,
and that she should kill the rest.
1.
Giving about the
Round
A virus,
2.
Leon
Capture
feel
the
like
objective.
Gotta go.
One more win!
Works.
Nothing
Chris
to
tells him that Arias has smart bombs hiding by the US government. He lost his family.
Pay attention.
Chris and Leon
They're
start
going to
arguing
love
again.
me!
Enjoy.
Major pack unlocked.
Exposed.
Triple kill.
My web grows heavy. Je vais faire un carton. Merci.
He says that his family is in danger.
Systems
And Arias, Lucio a member of Los Illuminados, who of course provided Arias with Plaga samples for research. That Los Illuminados wanted to
You dare touch my property?
engaging them.
Admirez mon cheval.
Double kill.
That's the point! Now get over here!
The locations of the bioterror attacks in the US, they're all concentrated around the
No one can hide from my sight.
In rare cases, the latent virus can activate without the trigger particles. The trigger virus is distributed through air, gas, just like in the lab. In the latent virus, water, the trigger virus, gas, and fire. All effective controllable bioweapons. As on the chopper, Neil theorizes Arias factory on his point. Force with gas.
They're taking our point!
Double
A fatal aroma.
As he claims that it was complete, then Rebecca wouldn't have been attacked after. Arias, tomorrow the world will be
Activating self-destruct sequence.
double kill.
kill target at the lodge is not used.
Back in action.
Now for the reason Rebecca is wearing it away.
EMP activated. Hostile here. Now I truly feel alive.
Enemy in my sight.
Nano.
That's what
You still got a ways to go,
No one can hide from my sight.
Hello.
Enemy in sight.
Victory.
Maria speaks with her father named Diego, who plans to spread the virus as a go. And she joins others in jumping into tankers and driving the city. Filling up the activated gas.
Play of the game.
They drink the water.
Hey, look at this shit, bro.
The city quickly descends into chaos. DSA and Neil Fortunately, there are service jobs in the Vanna company in the tank, but one of the BSA SAA crew, Damien, is killed.
I want to check out this game.
Fight, leaving Chris to blow up the rest of the tankers. Whilst all this is going on, Rebecca is being prepped for this.
What's this
procedure.
game?
Arios tells Rebecca
Winner.
Par excellence.
thanks to Rebecca's blood. The gas can't be used anymore though, so the researcher there.
Remember his golden eye. The damn. Hey, Valkyrie. You see something cool?